term hot hatch was coined to represent a sporty family hatchback that had been prepared by a manufacturer. The term boy racer represents somebody who buys a car and makes it race ready for the road. But what happens when the two collide is that you're left with one of the most steroidal family hatchbacks ever made, the hardcore Civic Type R. One look at it and you can tell this is no ordinary schoolroom special. Those bulging wheel arches, low profile tyres, aggressive angular lines and this huge rear spoiler means it wouldn't look out of place on a BTCC race circuit. It pretty much looks race ready. As you'd expect, the sporty touches from the outside are carried through to the interior. There's lots of nice little touches like the red stitching dotted around the cabin. There's these figure hugging bucket seats too, and each car gets a unique name plaque as well. So onto the business end and how it drives. Now the old Civic Type R used to pump out 198 brake horsepower, which in the hot hatch world was rather tame. The new one though still gets a 2 litre 4-cylinder engine, but it's now been fitted with a turbocharger, meaning it'll pump out 307 brake horsepower. That means it's a lot quicker. In fact, it'll do 0 to 60 in just 5.7 seconds. The only trouble is though, it's lost some of that revvy nature that you used to get with the old VTEC engines. It's only when you really start to push the Type R that you realise that the spoilers aren't just there for show. They're producing downforce, which keeps it planted on the road. It grips really well at speed into the corners, and while the steering doesn't have a great deal of feel, you can still push it hard with confidence. Normally with a front wheel drive car over 300 brake horsepower, there's a bit of torque steer when you accelerate hard, but thanks to some trickery with the suspension, this is all well tamed. If you're looking for understated performance, then the Civic Type R isn't for you, but unlike previous versions, it is still usable every day. But its aggressive looks and hardcore nature will have many looking elsewhere. That's what we think of it, but what about a couple of potential customers?
I'm along the lines of I think it should look aggressive. I think if you are a Type R, an RS, you should stand out from the other models. So yeah, I really do like the looks of it. I don't think it's over the top. I think if this is what you're going to buy, this is the way it should look. I have got 3 children, so it probably wouldn't be for me as a family car because I don't think there is enough room in the back. But you know, I have got 3 children, so if you had one, you would probably be fine.
I like the looks. Whether the one thing that might sound a bit silly, but I'm not sure about red and blue accents on the bodywork. I think maybe either one or the other will be better, but I get the market they're going for, so I suppose it works for them and it works for the customers. But to me, it's not something I would necessarily go for. I think it's a little bit on the garish side. I'm afraid I'm a little bit more, my tastes would be a little bit more on the conservative side, you know. As a bloke over 50 with a couple of sort of grown-up kids is probably not the sort of thing I would go for, you know, unless I was having a bit of a midlife crisis or something, you know.